some artist. Today we're going to be doing another comic book haul. And of course, as before, I want to remind everyone we're real close to 2,000 subscribers. We're going to be doing a giveaway for this signed X-Men Legends number 4 by Walt and Louise Simonson, as well as ENIAC number 1 first printing. So once we hit 2,000, we'll do that. Hit the bell. Make sure you're subscribed. We will do a live stream for the drawing when it happens. So there's all sorts of little elements in today's haul. A lot of it's my regular type of stuff, but I got a few surprises as well, including a key. So make sure to stick around to see what the key book that I got today is. So first off, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 87. It's got old Captain America on here, so that makes me happy. Arthur Adams hasn't drawn Captain America a whole lot for Marvel, so I'm glad to see that he did the cover there for him. He's not doing the inside of the book, but you know, I'm glad he at least drew him on the front. So Spidey and Cap have always just kind of had a unique type of relationship. Peter has always been inspired by Steve. And so yeah, having him help Peter get back on his feet is a pretty cool thing for them to do. And then of course we've got Black Cat here, who's also a pretty huge part of Peter's life. And then we have Amazing Spider-Man number 88. So Queen Goblin, I know she's been a character in the past. I think this is a redesign of her though. So yeah, actually this morning I just finished up reading the other Spider-Man issues prior to this. So what's going on right now is Ben Reilly is having a mental breakdown because Doc Ock was able to breach Beyond's files and share all of their secrets with him. And he learned that they've been like wiping his memory and stuff and basically painting themselves in a good light. So he is combating with that truth and kind of plotting out his next steps. And in the last issue they wiped him at the end again, so it'll be interesting to see what all happens with that. And then Spider-Man is relaunching soon as well, with old John Romita Jr. doing the artwork. So this one surprised me when I saw the cover here. They've got the Slinger, so this was during like the identity crisis, and I think it was around 96 or so. So I didn't expect to see them in this book. So it's kind of cool once again, you know, they're digging stuff up from the past and just kind of having fun with some of their longtime readers and, you know, being like, hey, remember these guys? And I know when I was a kid, I was certainly interested in all the different Spideys and everything too. I don't remember a lot about them, but I remember just being, you know, interested. Another Spidey here, number 89. So obviously the thread is still continuing on here with the Goblin Queen. And yeah, I saw Patrick Gleason is actually, looks like he is doing the writing for this one. So he's been doing a bit more writing than before as well. And then we've got Mark Bagley's on the interiors here. And he's always solid. He pretty much took the helm after all of the 90s shakeup with McFarlane and Larson and all of them forming Image. just kind of stepped in and continued to make Spidey look relevant and interesting to keep up with the pace of things in the 90s. But yeah, Bagley's a stand-up guy. I remember I went to a convention years ago, and he just signed a random print because my oldest son was with me. And I was like, oh no, we can't afford to pay you anything. He's like, it's okay, I just want your kid to have this. So I will always remember how Mark did that for my son. So very cool of him. In this, I didn't put this in my poll box, but it ended up there anyway. So this is Savage Spider-Man number 1. This was spinning out of Non-Stop Spider-Man, which ironically had a crap ton of delays. So yeah, at this point, Spider-Man has turned into a literal Spider-Man here. Oh, so it looks like even the same threat, so Zemo's still in this and everything too, so that's kind of cool. So I'm kind of glad that I'm still reading it then. Because that was the thing that was unique about the other one for me. I had never seen Zemo take on Spider-Man, so of course I've seen him take on Captain America. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, this keeps the same kind of format going as the previous series. Very kind of all over the place and high energy, so we'll see how that goes. Next we have X-Men number 7. And this continues the story of Captain... I'm trying to remember the name of their island now. I don't think it's Krakoa. But yeah, the X-Men book is very odd. I don't really grasp a lot of what's going on in it. Yeah, okay, so it is Krakoa. I feel like since there's so many X-Men books, there's stuff happening kind of all over the place in all of them. And they're kind of all struggling to be like the X-Men book, you know? But, you know, obviously the regular X-Men titled series should be the main one to follow to keep up current, but Marvel likes to double dip or triple dip, or I don't even know how many X-Men series they have. I know it's a ton though. And then we have number 8 here. So we got MODOK, looks like, as a threat for him, so that's interesting too, because I mainly know him to be a Captain America enemy. So yeah, I like seeing his villains tiptoeing around into other areas. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, we got the aim and all of them, so. But yeah, if you're unfamiliar, MODOK has this big floating head with these tiny limbs. He's got like mind blasts and stuff. He was basically made to have like the most powerful mind in the world, and it basically stretched his physical limitations, where yes, his brain grew, but at the sacrifice of the rest of his body. But I'm liking the art in these X-Men books. I'm just missing some cohesion, really. And then we have our Bad Idea Cha-Cha line here. So we've got Pirate Queen, number 4, I believe. I'm looking for the number. Oh, yeah, it's right there. So, of course, presentation is great on these books. So fingers crossed there's nothing offensive in these first couple pages here. And then there is a backup story in here as well. So here's some of that art. Then we have Odins Eye, number 4. Which I already had 5, but this book got delayed, I guess. Sorry about that cut. There was some questionable stuff in those first few pages. So yeah, I was saying I love the art style. I just love how it's just kind of this epic, sweeping style, you know. I didn't read a lot of like barbarian type of stuff like Conan or anything like that. So this type of visualization is just something I'm not very familiar with, so I think that's kind of why it's more impactful for me. I think if I'd seen it a lot, it would be a lot less impressive, maybe. And of course, this isn't exactly the same as that, but that certainly feels like what it's inspired by, you know? Then we have Monster Kill Squad, number 3. But yeah, I still haven't read the insides of these books here, because I've been trying to keep them pristine since they are, you know, they're only sold at like 100 comic shops across the whole country. So there is a specialness and a bit of a rarity to them. And then this particular one, well, not this one, but Odins Eye, you couldn't even walk in and buy that one. That had to be one that you only pre-ordered due to the paper shortage. And then here is Monster Kill Squad number 4. So, yeah, this rounds out all of the regular Bad Idea books. They still have the ones if you, they're doing redemptions for the button if you're able to be the first customer to buy the number 1s for certain issues. You got a button to be the first person in to buy it. So I got that one for the ENIAC number 1, that one that I'm giving away. And so yeah, I've got the button, but even to redeem for the first book, you had choice between 2 different books. I think one was Retirement Plan and the other was Werewolf. But you needed 2 buttons, and I just have the one. Because honestly, I didn't want to be like a greedy person and try to have all of the buttons. I was trying to give people a fair shot at them, you know. And so I'm just like, well, I guess me being genuine like that didn't work out, because I couldn't even trade that one in for one of those books. But hopefully I'll be able to acquire those other books at some point. Just there'll be a heftier price tag, since, you know, you could only get them by redeeming the rare buttons. But yeah, it's crazy. That was about this time last year when Bad Idea had launched and everything, so it's been interesting. And they say it's officially done, but, you know, none of us believe that. Alright, so this actually segues into our next part of our video, showing off some of the collectibles here. So this is the Funko variant cover for Daredevil number 35. Whenever they release the previews exclusive Funkos, they do have comic covers to go with them. But I think they don't ship a either, so these are a bit scarce too. That's why I see it's even above cover price. I think it's basically per one case of pops you get one of these. So, yeah, so here's the Daredevil number 35. And then here's the nice little pop. Which, yeah, I've always liked Daredevil. He's another one of those heroes, you know, he deals a lot with, you know, religious aspects and stuff, and that's a huge part of my life. So it's nice to see, you know, kind of the imagery, you know, with like the statues and the church settings and things like that that have happened. Stories like Born Again, all that sort of stuff, just really, really resonates with me. So, I was so glad to get this pop, because I thought this one had even sold out too, so they only had 2 on the shelf. Now they've got 1. He said they had more, but I'm sure they were in the back or something, but I thought I had totally missed out on them, so yeah, I think, you know, as more stuff happens with Daredevil, they're apparently going to put Charlie Cox into the Marvel Cinematic Universe beyond that Spider-Man cameo that he had. So everyone's gearing up and getting excited for that. So next I got something too big to fit on camera here. So this is the Captain America Through the Ages line. This was a Amazon exclusive for the Year of the Shield, which honestly this is what we all wanted out of that event. So I think these are all great with the exception of this annoying one on the end, because that was the storyline with the whole Hydra Cap twist, which I absolutely hated. So yeah, this shows you all of them. So we got the original one with the different shaped shield, Silver Age, the exoskeleton. This was basically a suit that Tony made for him that helped him stay alive for a bit longer. And then the Super Soldier Serum version of him. This was when he was the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., when Bucky had taken the role of Cap when he had quote-unquote been dead. And then, of course, we have the crappy Hydra Cap, or the Sleeper Agent version, because it's not, you know, technically the green and all that, but it's just from the same storyline. And then I like how this Cap, too, he's got, like, the little laser shield, which he had previously needed in the Heroes Return or Reborn arc. Then I got a few sodas as well. So we've got the Popeye. And this is just the common, which is fine, because that's all I really wanted. I don't even know what the chase looks like for him. And then we have Master Chief, which this is actually the first Halo, a collectible I've ever bought. I just couldn't pass it up. It looked so cool, you know. So I'm glad I got it. And yeah, again, I'm not sure what the chase for this one looks like either. Then I got all sorts of fun little Saga goodies. These are all little buttons. And then there's a sticker and another one. And then there's a big old bookmark. So yeah, they just started the series back up with issue 55. So this was the launch for the return. So I didn't pick it up though. I like to read it in trades, and I'm actually behind on reading the trades as well, but I do enjoy it. It's just so weird and unique. And I got other pops too, but those are really for my wife and not really comic related or anything. I got the new Hamilton wave, and then I got her the Leslie. Nope, she needed Leslie the Riveter. That was the last one she needed from the recent Parks and Rec line. So yeah, with that we move on here. So we've got the Joker number 12. And yeah, this just continues to be just continuing on. There's not really much you can add to it at this point. I think I'm trying to remember. I know I just read the last couple issues too. I think we learned that basically the person trying to kill the Joker was someone who was at Arkham as well. whenever all the gas and stuff happened. And so they blame Joker for that, so they're trying to kill him. Either that or it was like their son. Their son was at Arkham and he passed away during that attack or something to that extent. And so he's been met face to face with that guy at the end of the last issue. So it looks like they switched artists again on this book. And then I know that Gordon recently reconnected, like with Barbara and stuff, and he's got, basically she's watching over his back, even though there's supposed to be no involvement with any of the, Bat family. And then there's continuing to be the backup here with Punchline. Which, yeah, I just really wish it was in a separate book. Because this is the Joker. We don't need to share the book with another story. Then we have Detective Comics number 1052. This is continuing to come out weekly. At this point, it's a 12-part event, I think. And yeah, I'm not sure where this fits in the timeline because in the other Batman, like the regular Batman book, Batman is blinded and stuff right now, and he's clearly not here. Some good art, though. And so, yeah, this is the focal point of this story is about Arkham Tower, and we have found out that basically a psycho pirate has been the reason why things have been running so smoothly there. But now he just had an episode where he's like lost control of his own self. So now the inmates are starting to snap, or rather patients, since it's, not a prison, it's an asylum. So the patients are starting to snap and revolt against the workers in the tower here. And by the way, they've got Chase Meridian in this storyline. I don't know if this is the first time they've used her as a character. Quite a few of you remember she was played by Nicole Kidman in the Batman Forever movie. So I don't know if they just brought her into the fold or what. But it is something to note in the very least. And we have 1053. So yeah, and I think that the cover stock changed. Yeah, see, it's not glossy after this one. It's still shiny, but you're just gonna have to trust me that there's more of a gloss on this one than this one. So it looks like the art is still the same. It's consistent, so that's good. And then these guys, I want to say we see them a lot in like the Batman Beyond type stuff, so I don't know if they're slowly transitioning into that here as well. I think they show them in the future state and stuff, so I don't know. Then we have Batman Urban Legends number 12. Nice solid painting here. So here is all of our creative talent. And yeah, not really anyone I recognize aside from Vita Ayala. guess, is continuing about the relationship between Zatanna and Bruce. Just kind of like the mental bond they share. And then there's this story here, which this looks like it might be something about poison ivy. I like the painted style in this, though. I'm always happy when I see something different and unique in my comics. And then we see another story in the back here as well. And then I think the last story is the one that continues to focus on Ace, Batman's dog. Basically, he was on a mission with Bruce, and Batman was in rough shape. And more or less, the dog got taken and is being trained for unpure purposes. And I think they're trying to train it for Joker. Yeah, it just says retraining right there. So, but I think they're trying to train it for Joker. Because if I remember, they framed it as he rescued it from Joker initially. Then we have Batman and Catwoman number 10. So it's almost over at this point. But I'm sure you saw there's another Tom King miniseries coming, hot on the heels of this one, called Killing Time. He says it's completely unrelated to this, though, or even his Batman Rebirth stuff he did. So he's just, playing with the toys, but not committing to any certain timeline, I don't believe. And just kind of encouraging people, if they were put off by some of his other stuff, that they might want to check out this since it's something different. So yeah, it looks like the art went back to Clayman here. Yeah, he hasn't been on the book in a while. So it's nice to see him rounding out this story. And we have the big old Best of Jenica special, which, same as the other ones, we have a series of books. And I think the first one here is whenever she got turned into Jenica, maybe. Or not even then, yeah, no, because that was... She's just a soldier in this one, I think. And then we have another story. I'm trying to remember all these. This was from one of the other specials, I think. But yeah, all of her stuff has been more recent. Yeah, I remember this. This came out during COVID. And then this is like from a newer ongoing Turtles book here at the end. She's a fairly new character, so she doesn't have a lot of history to work with. And then I think this is the last best of, because they've done one literally everyone else. And then we have Nightwing number 89. So yeah, it looks like they are switching the cardstock to be flat matte instead of shiny gloss. I'm sure it's a cost issue. But it's funny because this is the same quality cover you would find on a Spawn book that's not increased in price. So yeah, in this one we see Superman is in the story here. And then yeah, I remember seeing online someone showed this moment here where Nightwing pulled a lollipop out of Batman's utility belt for Jonathan here. And Dick Grayson has always had kind of a good relationship with Clark too. So I always like when they delve into that little piece of history. And then we see present day Jonathan Kent thinking about his dad here. Then we have Turtles number 126. I think once again referencing the AC/DC cover, which they had done previously with the Turtles a while back, but I do remember they did it. And I just read this too. So one of the Triceratons had just delivered their first natural baby right here, I think. And so the Krang are upset because there was supposed to be some sort of something in place blocking them from having any more natural births. So they're trying to figure out all that. And then, the freaking frogs here burnt down the Turtles' dojo in the last issue too. And so they're dealing with that. And then Raph was not present during it all, so they're kind of a bit upset at him that he wasn't around to help possibly prevent this. And we have Scorched number 2. Which, yeah, this series just started. I just read number 1 with that as well. And it just kind of continuing on, you know, playing in the Spawn sandbox here. Not really anything crucial that I can note. Other than just letting us see a lot of these other characters. Having a little more focus on them since Spawn is nowhere to be found in this particular series. This is all the secondary Spawns. And then of course Spawn shows up when I say that. You know what I mean though. It seems like that's how the book is framed. It's really about the others. Especially since he's got his own book on top of the regular ongoing book, King Spawn. The helmet here reminds me a bit of Magneto, honestly. It's still a cool cover though. So yeah, King Spawn is another book just really digging into more motivation for Spawn. This is really about him stopping this cult that's focused on killing kids. If you want to get on Spawn's bad side, you know, try to kill kids and women, and he will pretty much go off on you. He's really got a thing for protecting kids since he's got his own kid and stuff. Finally, we have our key. This is Superboy number 9. This is the first appearance of King Shark. So yeah, I got it for a deal. It was only $10. Granted, it was 10 because there's a bit of issue here on the cover aside from that, it's not too bad. And yeah, inside is solid, no issues other than that top of that cover. So yeah, for $10 I couldn't pass it up. Really kind of any key for something like that. I'm trying to get that part where we see. Here we go. There's King Shark there. So yeah, even if it's not a dinged up shape, this key is usually more affordable. It usually is about $50 to $100, I want to say, but more on the lower side. But I may have even had this book when I was younger, because I, collected the Superboy books and everything. I know I had the one with loose cannon for sure, but I don't remember if I had this one or not. So. But yeah, so that's going to do it for now. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. And as always, you all have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.